So, I should be more or less on point on time, half a second late, because of the delay and stuff before it builds up. But yeah, I have some new stuff to show, but I'm somehow able to now actually get on time on the server, but I guess it's because it's race late enough. So I actually have time. I'm alive, the usual. How are you doing? Had some stuff arrive towards the end of last week, which I will show in a second. But yeah, I'm gonna show it right now. Let me switch over the scene. What? Is that correct, that number? Yeah, that number seems to be correct. That can't be right. Like, I'm sitting in front of my desk and I'm hitting like 80 my heart rate and stuff, and I'm sitting in my rig and I'm down at 60. Okay, now we're starting to have normal numbers. It's been an event for because it's been an event for 2 weeks. Nah, not much. Nothing really has happened, largely. I mean, I guess I haven't like done much streaming, but like, besides that, not much has gone on. It's just I didn't have a series to drive, and I didn't feel like really looking particularly for one. But this week we will have obviously this race, and on Saturday the first round of the 2-man series. So the 2-man series is back. Gonna have that. But yeah, what I got is among other things, a pulse tracker. So I actually can display my heart rate. Which, when I first put it on, definitely made me like, okay, I need to do more workout because my sort of not quite idle heart rate is way too high, frankly. But yeah. It's probably perhaps even a bit small on this stream, but we'll have to see. Maybe upscale for the next time. But I also ordered our new thigh highs because these striped thigh highs that I have. Ooh. Okay, these striped thighs that I have here, I ordered I think back in 2021. Early 2021. I ordered these, and I have been using these specific three striped ones ever since. I technically have another one that has stripes on it, but it's a black and purple one, and it doesn't come particularly well out on the camera. And plain colored one don't come out particularly well either. It's in part because the camera is absolute garbage. But okay, that wasn't late breaking. But yeah, so I have 3 pair, and yeah, they've been getting holes. Even this one that I'm wearing has holes in the right one. So I'm wearing a small sneaker sock underneath the thigh high. So I'm not having my foot on bare metal. But yeah, they're starting to get up there in age. I've already filtered the pink ones out. The blue ones should be fine a bit longer, but they're gonna die eventually as well. I mean, after all, they're socks. After all, they're just socks, so and I wear them like socks, so not just the ones I've been using for driving, like these here, the striped ones, have been failing, but also just generic ones that I daily drive.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
So yeah. I mean, it's the path of the programmer. Once you start with fire highs, then you go down to skirts, then you go down to all the rest of it. And you can very quickly get an out path a bit more expensive than just socks. But yeah, I ordered 2 new pairs, but it didn't arrive with the other things. They have a longer shipping period on them. They will arrive end of next week. Have to see with those. Stress for the job. Nah, that's not what I meant. I have somewhere the meme clip. Like, it starts with Amazon deciding to recommend fires to you. Like, maybe the site knows something I don't know, and it's like, and you order some, and then you're like, well, I don't have anything else that fits with them, so you order a skirt, and then it goes all the way from there. From personal experience, it'd be like that. So on one hand, I'm definitely not recommending to buy any fires. On the other hand, yes. Oh, there's so many memes about it. Man, my first flyer was slow as all hell. Considering how much time I'm finding, ooh, that's not good. And I throw it all away. I shouldn't have opened my mouth at all. Holy hell, this would have gotten me like a lot up the order. I mean, just now the tires are actually coming up to pressure, so they've been taking their time. Actually have the same plush shark back at home. The Blahai. I think I actually pronounced it correctly because I have got from a Swedish friend of mine flack for pronouncing it. No wait, it is Blahai. Blahai is the correct pronunciation actually of that name. Blahai is incorrect. Blahai is the correct Swedish pronunciation of that word. Which also makes sense because that is effectively very similar to the German way of saying blue high, blue shark, which would be Blauhai. Oh, come on, look. The hairpin is starting to be a pain pecker a bit. I mean, I don't know, I might need to tease him again about it. This setup is honestly like really good. I had a setup left over from some time ago when I ran this track on the SRXP calendar, and actually ran also it the day prior in LFM. That's something I could do once in a while. Haven't been on the side for a hot minute. You want to hit the first curb, you don't want to hit the second curb, as far as I remember. That wasn't the ideal line. So. But yeah, I cannot see my own pulse. I did not actually slap that on display, so I don't know where I'm going with the numbers. That's gonna be interesting to watch afterwards. I don't feel like I have usually like high pulse while racing. I feel like I'm relatively calm and even in pressure situation, but I think my idle racing pulse is probably gonna be way high, and but it shouldn't climb any further once I get pressure and stuff like that. Right now I'm 7 for second off the provisional pole position. Also, I didn't notice someone has signed up to this championship. A certain someone. And that is Miles Dixon. I competed against him and his teammate during the only 2.4 hour GT4 series for the championship, till my unceremonious exit out of it. Well, the guy is an absolute rocket. I've only bested him when he had technical problems or didn't even start. Oh no, there's more ways of me sending people to sleep.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
I'm a government approved sleeping aid. Considering me head-petting people in the outchat is also a way of me sending people to sleep on a regular basis. There's a bit much rear brake bias on the setup, but it's also like really nice, the rotation from it. How does this thing measure pulse? Does it connect just to your wrist or something? It is a chest band that then connects via Bluetooth low power protocol back to my PC. Ooh, that's a lift. And yeah, it measures my pulse by being strapped to my chest. There are a few tens here and there, but I don't think I have that much more. Nah, mate, you don't have to really slow down. I'm just doing practice laps here. I would have totally liked to practice passing you. The rotation is so nice. This setup drives awesome. This is a genuine treat to drive right now. I mean, well down on pace, I guess, but like, this is Zolder. I'm not expecting too much pace-wise. Yeah, I mean, most of them are chest bands and stuff like that. I mean, you could also use it use a smartwatch or something like that, but I don't have one of those. And this was like $20, so yay. It's doing the job. Okay, that was a bit fast. And I have already Bluetooth anyway for my keyboard and stuff. I'll probably practice the pin entry because it's pin entry quite difficult. Pin entry on Zolder is something else.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
And maybe bump the tire pressures up a bit. I think the front right is the only one that I really need to bump up. Somehow I'm starting to go slow and slower through the chicane. No. And I am lapping very consistently. Which that's at least something. Makes it vaguely scary to compete against. Yeah, let's just practice a pin entry, I would say. Yeah, brake at that curbing. Alright, that is actually easy. Well, it's a very long pit lane with the pit speed limit enforced very early on for these like refueling stations for when preventing events happen. Alright. Actually, he's missing right now, Dixon. I guess he's off the server maybe right now. Because he's not at the front of the order right now. Van de Katzberg, the guy that I took out. Let's be frank about it. In the previous race, right now in provisional pole position, but a second faster than me. There's Jörgsen just behind him, Poe, Bogdanovicic, the M version of it, Jelinek, Samui, and the other Jelinek, but spelled differently. Well, technically this is Jelinek and this is Jelinek. Oh yeah, Dixon is behind me actually, I've just realized. But I mean, this is practice, I'm very sure sandbagging. What are my tires actually doing after having run quite a couple of laps? Light graining on the rear tires, that's a slight bit concerning. Teeny tiny bit concerning. Otherwise, this car is absolutely doing its job. Handling flawlessly. Maybe with one click forward the brake bias. Maybe a bit steering ratio. Also, I have the springs on maximum soft, that's interesting. Do I want to go out again, or... I mean, otherwise we're not doing anything for the next 5 minutes till the briefing happens. Oh, I'm back on tire set 1. I didn't swap the tire sets. Oh well. Not the end of the world. Inbooked another chick is right now behind me. Oh, I didn't sync deliveries before joining the server. Oh well, at the end of the world. It's funny when you advertise the steering wheel you're driving with.
Slow car ahead.
It's literally just taking up space in my storage. I mean, ACC is at least not that large. ACC is actually a relatively small game. I think it's under 20 gigs or something. In comparison to most other things, that is tiny. I mean, if you're not enjoying driving in it, then there's no way to particularly force you to do it.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
I can understand, like, driving in last place around the circuit and getting absolutely slam dunked by the competition is... it's not quite fun. Makes sense. I mean, there are people who are fast with controllers, it's just... it's very difficult. Very difficult to know when to push. I mean, I've for years played like the first Project Cars on a controller, but that was offline. And against AI, you can obviously still win and have fun. Okay. Fair enough. I don't know how I've never started really hating one of the racing games, despite me having played R-Factor 2. I still ended up booting it up for my events and drive them. I guess it's just I drive out of obligation my events. That's that. Okay, I think the timer is up maybe. Yeah, I should probably escape to do the briefing at this point. We'll do one more run at the chicanes. We run one more time through the first chicane. I will, for the purpose of practicing that. So, that's enough. Someone's still driving.
Oh fuck, I have no pressures. The game crashed before I saved it. No.
My pressures, I haven't really been able to get them anywhere consistent. So I wouldn't take mine.
Not that it helps. Hello.
All right. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Hello, everybody.
Let's get everyone back to the pits. Who's out there? Eric, god damn it.
Yeah, I was finishing my lap. Chill.
The timer has hit 10 a minute ago. Alright, welcome back. This is round 4, GT4 Championship. We're happy to see you. Happy to get you back. We've got a pretty stacked grid again tonight, so that is excellent to see. So we'll run through our standard regular points on the driver briefing now, and couple of special notes for this track in particular. So quali format, as you all know, 10 first minutes for silver split, 10 last minutes for pro split. There is no overtaking in qualifying. There is a couple of points that I would like to make, just because we've had some not issues, but we have some let's just say unfortunate incidents on the previous races. So for this race, starting from now, both GT4 and GT3 League Pro Split drivers are not allowed to exit their pit box at all. So there will be no lining up on the pit exit line before the 10 minutes mark. So you will need to wait for the mark to hit 10 minutes before you are allowed out your pit box. So please remember, no lining up on the pit exit. Also, do not overtake even in the pit lane. So I know the cars are ghosted, but nevertheless, try not to overtake other cars while they are ghosted in the pit lane. Apart from that, if we get any blue flags, just stay predictable. We only ask that you please do not defend the inside line too hard. Maybe on the straights you can lift off a little bit if you are getting lapped under blue flags, so that you both lapper and lappee can lose the least amount of time. Reporting incidents, as always in this league, we do full incident review first two laps, so lap 1 and lap 2. Anything occurring, any incidents you want us to look at after lap 2, you will need to use the report incident form. You have 24 hours after the race to issue your reports. It's fairly easy. We don't require any replays or anything like that. Just put your car name, the other car's name, and the lap and timestamp or something like that, and we will have the replay and we can review it. So if you have anything you want us to look at, please don't hesitate to use the incident report form. If you get penalties, we'll issue the penalties on the starting grid for next race, and lap 1 penalties always are doubled. So please be very careful. We want to encourage clean racing, especially on turn 1 and the full lap 1. This is Zolder. It's going to be tight and windy, so take special note of that. I don't want to have to do a restart. So obviously we do restarts if we have big clusterfucks. We've done it before. We'll do it again, but let's try to postpone that as often as we can. Every driver is fighting for track position, so silver split drivers do not need to move over for pro split drivers. Off tracks, we take our off tracks very seriously. If your car has been off track, do not rejoin. Do your utmost to rejoin safely. That means no rejoining backwards, sidewards, with the ass first, whatever. So make sure that your car is in a safe position to rejoin before you rejoin on track. We repeat this every week. Every week there's some incident with a questionable rejoin, so please be careful if you need to rejoin. Pit exit on Zolder is a little bit dangerous. It sort of releases you almost on the apex of turn 2. So be very, very careful. Have your spotter on if you cross the start finish line and you hear that the spotter is saying car exit in the pits. Use your eyes, try to be aware, and we don't want to see cars basically meet up at the apex of turn 2, so be careful. Also, when you're exiting the pits, of course you're allowed to maintain your line. However, you're not allowed to cross the solid pit exit line, so be careful crossing so that you don't release your car straight onto the race line and crash into oncoming traffic, so be careful. Voice chat, you are very welcome to stay on voice chat once the driver briefing is concluded. You are not required to do so, so if you so desire, you may leave the voice chat after the briefing is over. The text is closed to everyone. The in-game text box is closed to everyone in Qualy and Race, apart from admins. If you need to write something, do it on Discord. And after the race is over, please do not hit other cars. Some of us are on direct drive wheels. Also, do not park your car immediately after the finish line. Park it after turn 1 or in the gravel trap on turn 1, or perform a cooldown lap and return to pits. I hope everyone has practice the pit entry. The pit entry is also a little bit dangerous, especially if you're behind another driver. You can basically go flat while the driver ahead is going to brake for the final chicane. So if you are behind another car and you plan to enter the pits, do it as safely as possible. Give yourself a little bit of space so that the car ahead of you can brake and take the turn. We don't want to see anyone rear-ending other cars on the pit entry. Also, speed is very difficult to judge, so practice your pit entries. We don't want to see drive-throughs or stop and go because of overspeed after the line. So make sure now, I'm going to reuse you back on track. Make sure that you practice your pit entry. Make sure that you know where your pit box is so that you don't get surprised when you need to pit. There is a required pit stop for tires in this race. Let's hope it's predictable, because I have not practiced with. So good luck, everyone. You are free to go back on track for the final 3 minutes of the practice session. Good luck.
So, yeah. I checked the weather before and it was about 5% rain chance. Alright. You do your racing in AMS2. I've played a bit of AMS2, but I've actually uninstalled that game. I think I have uninstalled it. I've not grown particularly towards liking it. It's probably just the actual lack of any races happening on there.
Low tire pressure, stay away from curbs.
There's just nothing happening in terms of events on that game. And I drove it a bit when SGP added support for it. But the problem was that support was very broken, and I've heard then from AMS2 players that, oh yeah, this is totally normal. The dedicated server for the game doesn't work. You have to like self-host lobbies for your client. And that works apparently very well, and the game is stable and everything, but it's just... yeah, no. Like, that should not happen. That's dedicated servers and stable. That's not something that should ever be the case. That you have tools that I don't have to spin up a dedicated server to play the game multiplayer is great. And there's people being like, you need that for racing games, and it's like, it would be nice, but also like... the requirement for dedicated server hasn't stopped other games from having absolutely no issues. Like the Minecraft and the likes of it. Players spin up their own dedicated servers and play with friends. Around on tracks and such, and every now and then I hop in the public lobby. Yeah, that's what I basically do in AC. But in AC you have like such a wide variety of cars. Should honestly head back onto the Mungan a bit from time to time, it would be nice. But also like I have this Openwheeler Rim that I'm using, and it's like, because of Thrustmaster's quote-unquote quick release system, the old system, it's... I have a round rim, but I would prefer that, like, swapping it is a very involved process that takes time. It takes a bit much time, because you have a screw that is you have these plastic pieces that you screw into each other, right? But that isn't holding well enough at all. You have to put the screw in a bit, so which taps into the quick release of the wheel rim. And the problem is that screw A is getting round the more you unscrew and screw it back in, and B, getting it all to align again and again and again when you swap rims is a pain. Okay, I may need to then reposition, because I mean, heart rate looks fine when I'm driving, but like it going down to 16 is a bit low. So, right. You can't let your hand go because you otherwise hit the pit entry there. So, but yeah, I mean, we're now sitting for 10 minutes or so. ping. Minis versus Mustangs? What is that event? Oh yeah, the Mini versus the 1967 Mustangs. Like, that sucks. I unfortunately do not have a solution for that. But yeah, I've yeah, I said like I'm like that stuff in AC. But you also mentioned that you do have GT Sport at some point. Like I've seen a lot of GT Sport and stuff, but like I mean I don't have a console, so it's like I can't even play the game. But what I've seen of is like the gameplay doesn't look that fun to me. It's just like the cars are very on rails. If you want to drive fast, and it's perhaps also just the people I've seen drive who are driving at a pretty fast level, where it's just there's not particularly much fun to be seen in the driving. It's just, oh yeah, here's a 5-lap hot lapping session that they use for their matchmaking events. And you're trading thousands of a second with each other, which is just stuff that I don't quite like. I like my real... Yeah, but it doesn't mean that it can't be, you know, really fun. I mean, I haven't touched Trackmania in ages, which is also, you could describe as simplified physics, and where like thousands of a second also matter again. But I mean, I guess I enjoyed that because I liked to build tracks in it back in the day. Gosh, it's been ages. It's really been ages since. But yeah. I mean, it's kind of like the problem of like racing sims, that they don't play too well on a controller. But I mean, when we talk about racing sims, it's like people like me have, for example, played GTR 2 on a controller back in the day. So it's like, okay, that's interesting. But yeah, people like me have played like GTR 2. That's sad. Yeah, people like me have played GTR 2 on a controller and things like that. But I did, I think 2 years ago or so, boot up GTR 1 or something, and drove a bit in it, and it just wasn't fun to drive on a wheel at all. Because the physics just absolutely didn't forgive anything. The car was constantly on razor's edge and didn't handle well. I've been told that it was kind of that it should have been GTR 1, because I can't quite remember if it was GTR 1 and GTR 2. But I don't think I was able to install GTR 2 at all. The multiplayer aspect of multiplayer aspect of the original Assetto Corsa is better than the multiplayer of GT Sports. That is an interesting statement to make. Very interesting statement. I think that's a bit of a stretch. Where were actually the times in? I'm basically matched in the first sector with the fast guys. Although actually my fastest lap was 2/10 down there. Do leave a bit of time on the table on my different laps. Middle sector, I'm about 4/10 down. In final sector, I'm about half a second down. That's interesting. Half a second there lost in the final sector. Last time 37.4. Which is slower actually than what is right now the pole sitter for AM. Actually, I'm noticing the temperatures has gone up quite a bit compared to practice. So that's a bit concerning. I had pretty good tire pressures on this one. Definitely want to take some fuel out of the car. Impressed with the Gianettas at times. He's somehow coming out of the woodwork and putting actually fast times in. I mean, on the other hand, it's like mainly track time that's gone up. Maybe chop the tires down by 0.5. A slow lap from this guy here. That AC multiplayer on console is better than the AC multiplayer on PC. I see. Yeah, because you actually own the content that is hosted on servers. It's not like, oh yeah, you need this mod here to drive here, and everybody's doing Nordschleife. That sort of issue. In comparison, I like obviously multiplayer of generally casual racing in multiplayer is not quite possible. A lot of games where you can just hop on and do some races and then hop off again. It's a bit of a problem. Outside of like doing low fuel motorsports. Yep, I've talked about that earlier. That's the only way of actually doing multiplayer in AMS2, because AMS1, well, not AMS1, AMS2's dedicated server are broken. You can't actually host a server in AMS2. It seems, or at least it was broken when SGP integrated it, and since then nobody has basically been using AMS2 at all for anything. It's a bit sad. Said I've driven it a bit, I've seen quite a few bugs and problems with it, and it's been a bit too cumbersome for me to deal with. I mean, if it's been a few years back when I got into R-Factor 2, I probably would have put up with this stuff, but I'm just like, no, you're not going worse than that. You're not going worse than that toaster of a game. Right, drive. Ignition. Pit limits are first gear. So we have 30 seconds right now. Don't know why Swanson came in to then try to drive out again, considering he can't make a flying lap at this point anymore. To press the clutch in.
Low tire pressure, stay away from curbs.
And it's Dixon behind me. So I'm gonna but he's gotta also see that Maserati in front of him again and be like, oh, I know this guy. But chill. He did invite me into the Pulse team, but besides being on that Discord, I haven't even been lurking that much on now. Honest to God, I should do probably more ACC events. But there's a lot of things I should be doing, like, I don't know, studying, working on my remaking by a VTuber model. Working on my save file manager, which I'm actually doing, but the progress is slow. I'm having progress on it. It has been quite fun to do. And I didn't check what the time in the end was of the fastest guy in Silver Split. He slows down on the last few meters. Come on, you don't need that much space. Also, I should be trying again another run at the... Just like showering, I hate showering. Obviously I have it too. Should probably do that as well. Add that onto the agenda. I should be doing another run at the... at beating Half-Life Alyx in one go without dying. I've genuinely gotten very close to that, but like it's... I know it's very possible, the game is not that hard. But also, you could just be screwed over by a ladder or certain smaller events that end up resulting in your termination. The ladder glitch is probably the most annoying one. And having done a Gnome run in that game, it's like... Should have given myself more room for the next lap. Whoa, hold on. My tire pressures are way low, I'm at 26 psi. They're not coming up at all. I'm lacking tire pressures completely. Should finish near. Well, yeah, I should finish a couple of games like The Witcher 3, Crosscode, and I should finish my Cyberpunk playthrough and edit the fucking footage right away. I'm currently behind the other Maserati driver. I think I'm gonna be stuck with my low pressure, so I'm just gonna do whatever I can. Should also start playing GTA 5. I've finished actually GTA 5. At least the single player part of it. Multiplayer, there's no finishing it, but did play quite a few hours of that game. Actually, the rest of my Steam backlog. Should also continue my playthrough of Pokemon Yellow. Guess I've started a playthrough of Pokemon Yellow. Honestly, it's not. It's interesting. I never was into Pokemon as a kid, so I played only last year for the first time through a Pokemon game, being that X. I have to say it was a decently enjoyable time. I did at one point earlier, and back I think in 2016 also try playing for Emerald, but at some point abandoned it again. So I've never actually finished Emerald. I'm trying to play my way backwards through, and it's like Yellow is kind of enjoyable. I feel like it's kind of better. On the other hand, you have the item limitations, and it's an absolute nightmare. You can carry only so few items in your back, and then you can only only store so many items in the PC, and they are not sorted automatically. And it's just like, my favorite feature of Pokéhex is that you can sort your inventory. That is insane. That is a absolutely massively useful feature. Also, I can remove key items out of my inventory, which I've used to remove the old rod and the other lower quality rod, because you don't really need them. I'm looking forward to second generation. When things are split into categories that you can actually have some vague sense of storage. Also, swapping Pokemon into and out of the PC is a nightmare. And sorting PC boxes is even worse. Oh god. Saphire, Ruby. Yeah.
Yellow flag ahead, be careful.
I mean, I've started playing for some of these games due to well, revitalizing my old 3DS. As the eShop's closure, so like, okay, I can soft mod the thing, play some games on there. I've played through Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. Which that was fun. Sort of. It was honestly more tedious, kind of. There's so many freaking dungeons in that game. And the walking speed of Link on... Like, the walking speed of characters on Game Boy games is just absolutely tediously slow. Ah, no. I've thrown it on the final corner. There was a massive gain there, but I've just thrown it.
Session is now over.
Yeah, that's 2 10s down. Oh, nearly hit this guy.
Accepted. Cut detected.
Alright. So... And then I get demoted to another position. Man, this is tight up here. Van der Katzberg on pole position. And then Dixon, unsurprisingly. But yeah, there's 3rd to 8th position within 3/10 of a second. That's just... Actually, up to 13th position is within half a second. 3rd to 13th, half a second. Holy crap, that's something. Boardman is in Montero in the middle of the silver field. There's definitely some silver wash drivers here. Where there's people driving in silver that should not be in silver, like Webster and Bogdanovich. Poe is at the back of the field. That's interesting. Oh yeah, I got denied going sub 37. I see. I see what happened there. I got denied sub 37. I see what the game did to me there. I mean, in the end, the tire pressures did come up finally. It was like sort of a bit late. Tire pressures back up. Put the fuel back into the car. Apply pressures. Put some fuel into here again. And then we should be able to get to the end. Everything else I think is set up correctly. Okay then. And yeah, the walking speed is also a thing of the old Pokemon games on the Game Boy. Game Boy Advance improves this by a lot. I actually had a Game Boy Advance back in the day with the Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. I still have the Minish Cap. I still have that cartridge actually. So I still have that. I've but my dad lost the SP actually, which is kinda annoying. Because he liked to play with liked to play the other game we had for it, which was Tetris. I still have an old DS, so I can actually play that game. Play the Game Boy Advance game, but it's you never had your own game console. That's unfortunate. I mean, when I got the SP effectively, it was quite. The DS had already released, but like a few years later, we got a normal DS. Not normal DS and DS Lite, a red one, and then a few years later my parents bought another one, so my brother and I don't have to share it and can actually play multiplayer games with each other. And he bought over the years a bunch of like games for the DS, a lot of them being tie-in games and stuff. So there's quite a few games on the shelf, and I've actually dumped, using my 3DS, all the ROMs out of them. Because modded 3DS allows you to dump ROMs and stuff, which is really handy. So yeah, that was... I mean, we had a Wii, but that was the family's console. The DS was technically also the family one, but like... Then later, when it bought up the silver DS Lite, that was technically at some point became then mine finally. And then I bought actually myself the 3DS back in 2011. So it is definitely mine. The question was, but I bought only like 3 games over the lifetime of the 3DS, and parents stopped like gifting us games for like games, and we just got stuck with like, so I ended up getting stuck on the 3DS with like nothing really to play on it. Yeah, well, I bought it with what's it called? What was the game called that I bought it with? It was Mario Sonic Olympic Games. And then I
30 seconds.
bought for the 3DS 3D Land, 3D World, and the other one being what was the other? A Link Between Worlds. That one. I've played through the Link Between Worlds. Actually, seen recently like a video of like saying like, oh yeah, the Link Between Worlds is a relatively easy. When going over the games for the 3 years, like, oh, Link Between Worlds is a relatively easy game. I'm like, have you played the hardcore mode? Because that's not easy at that point anymore. Like, yes, the Link Between Worlds has a lot of dungeons, so you get a lot of hard pieces over the playthrough, and the dungeon puzzle difficulty is not too high because of its design decisions, but the what was I thinking of? But when you play on hardcore difficulty, which on hardcore, I think it's called a hero difficulty, which you unlock if you beat the game once. A little playthrough on that, and that was what usually deals half a heart of damage deals 2 hearts worth of damage. So yeah, that's any sense of the game. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. I've honestly not played that many either. Like, I've only played Minish Cap and A Link Between Worlds. I've started actually on my 3DS now a playthrough of Ocarina of Time. I've not gotten too far into it. I've gotten through the Temple of Time, and then I've gotten lost effectively. I've not been able to be bothered to continue the playthrough. But yeah, I mean, my playthrough of Yellow has been basically interrupted by me wanting to work on my save file. Yeah, so because part of the idea is also that I'm gonna not save file, it's on my save file save file manager, because part of the idea is that I'm gonna port that onto the 3DS to allow me to sync my save files off the 3DS. But that's gonna be the fun part, especially because I've discovered that the popular checkpoint app for modded 3DS, which allow you to back up your save files, well, that doesn't work with Virtual Console, Game Boy Advance Virtual Console. Or someone has done some coding for it back in 2020, but like that got never merged and is dangling, and yeah, that's in its own way fun. Hello, could you kindly stay on your side? Like, I like my colors and stuff, but that's a bit much. Right, I need to focus a bit on the race start.
Green light, you look in. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Not the best exit there. KTM should not be able to just...
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Oh, come on. Oh, fucking hell.
Car on the right.
Need a bit more room there.
Car on the right.
And am I still alongside this guy? How have you not completed the pass yet?
Clear on the right.
Clearly me who made contact with the Porsche there. But it's gonna be up to the stewards to decide if that's my fault. I'm not too sure about it. It's very unfortunate, but like, I feel like he didn't give me the room. Like, I couldn't just dissolve myself into thin air effectively there. I was alongside on the outside and was able to hold my ground there. Oh, Van der Katzberg has spun. He got curbed. Well, I assume he got curbed, not actually hit. Possible that he got hit, but like, you know. Yeah, otherwise this has been an absolutely excellent start here. I mean, I did lose the position against Lichten, where I had passed up until that point, but yeah, that's not quite right.
Well done, mate. This is MUQU so best.
Not a good run out of the chicane there. I'm blocking quite a bit here. Katzberg got a really good run through the chicane. I mean, I'm probably full. He's also very close to my full position there through that corner. I mean, I don't want to quite move over on it. Move over for him, but like, not in the mood for like parking up and letting him by.
Car ahead in sector 1.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Lucas, brain, please. Produce sentences that make sense. What I wanted to say is, don't quite want to fight him too hard, but also don't want to move over for him. I feel like we're gaining on Lichten. Oh, that's a wheel dip there, not good. Can't unsettle a lot there. Broke very early there. Actually, I'm losing ground to Lautzen. No, I'm matching him. Oh, I slipped wide there. Ooh, that was...
On the left. Clear on the left.
That was definitely a chicane skip from him. Yeah, I'm faster for the high-speed corner there. Not much of a surprise, look.
Well done, mate. That's the fastest lap.
Matching Lautzen. No gains really being made at all. Oh, come on. Brakes. Feels like Lautzen is very slow into this corner here, specifically. The rest of the track is relatively fast, but that high-speed corner there is like his Achilles heel. It's a bit surprising, but also not quite. And I drop a bunch of time on the final corner.
Gaining on the car ahead in sector 1.
Okay, he now has a run on me.
Clear on the right.
Ah, I ran way wide there. Wait, what? He backed out. I'm very confused about the situation. He fell asleep just now. Okay. I mean, I'm under slight pressure here. If you sleep, that is fine, I guess. Ah, that's not good. That's me lost the position. Ooh, God! You nearly murdered yourself just now. Let's see, can I follow him here? Ooh. I broke very early there. My line for the final chicane is quite wonky, to say the least. Oh, both of us didn't have the greatest run there. And he still was a bit better. Ooh, hello network. Oh, my internet's dying. Or at least it had a spike there. I saw it on my connection graph as well. Dropped like 140 frames just now, but it seems to be stable now again.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Oh, I got a massive twitch over the bounce. Car did not want to stabilize, that should have been mine. But he got away with a lot of curb jump. Ah. Oh, cut the corner there aggressively. I think my rear tires are sort of departing this realm. I still have about 15 minutes left on them. Okay, that's a bit fast into turn one. We're actually staying like with the lead pack as well. Oh, that's a bit sideways from the KTM. Van der Katzberg is definitely going on attack, but I can, I think, attack as well. Oh, it's gonna get tight for me. I think he will outbrake me.
Clear on the left.
Well, that's one way to defend, by just being completely and utterly sideways. Okay, that's sand attack there. Come on, brakes. That was more luck than save. I did not feel anything. And yeah, the Maserati does not deal well with jumps.
The car is exiting the pit, watch out.
Seems like we have clear there. And yeah, the Maserati does not deal with curbs too well, surprisingly. The other cars that deal a bit better with them. Dix 11 seconds up ahead. Not much of a surprise, the guys are god. Yeah, I mean, we can still fight back here. I think this isn't long from over yet. I think I can maybe make a come back on Katzberg. It's a very interesting fight, McLaren vs Maserati, at least here, because his braking distances are similar to mine. His straight line speed is slightly faster than me, but similar still. And I make the difference up in high speed cornering. And he's driving absolutely the wheels off this car. Fast. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, it cost quite a bit of time there. Still about 10 minutes before the halfway point. Oh, come on! The rear tires are really packing up right now. I lost so much time on that lap. Come on, refocus, get your shit back together. We don't need to bleed more positions. This is the first ever track I drove in ACC. Well, I think mine was Nürburgring probably. I think I first drove Nürburgring 4 tracks. Oh fuck, not again! Come on, shitbox. Stop trying to murder me. Gotta head to class over at back. Should I put the stream on the classroom ejector? No! No! Don't do that.
The car is exiting the pit, watch out.
What are you doing? Oh, that's Lane. Not having a good day again. I'm gonna move the brake bars and click forward. See how that works. I'm gonna go 2 actually. Yeah, suddenly the thing stops. Thank you. Oh, Catsburg has an off. Unfortunately, I was way far back, but he was pretty far into the grass there. But I don't think he lost too much time there. Yeah, I think the brake bars forward is the solution for my problems. I think I had too much rear locking.
Gaining on the car and heading sector 2.
Oh yeah, what was that about Pro qualifying? P12? Well, he's up to P6, right behind me. Again. Oh, Yerksen died. I think that is a bit close to track limits, but it seems I got away with that. We're gaining hard on Pritchard in P2. How much fuel am I gonna need? About 30 liters, so that's correctly configured already. He's not coming yet.
Losing time to the car in front in sector 2.
It's a bit sideways again. Oh wait, he's dropped a lot of ground though just now. Should make my pit stop cycle a bit easier. I'm not able to keep up with Katzberg anymore at all. That's a bit much luck. At least one more lap, I'm gonna say. Oh, come on, brakes. Yeah, this thing absolutely tore through its tires. Completely shredded them. Though we have quite a long warm-up time here. And Poe is really not to be messed with. Wait, the Poe is gone. Yeah, he's gone. There was a brief yellow behind me. I guess he spun. Right, okay. Here configured. Okay, you're just coming in time for me to roll into the pits.
We're at the halfway mark. Keep pushing.
So, final tire change in the red.
Mandatory stop is now here. Along the wall. Low tire pressure. Stay away from curbs.
So, pit stop done. That's Pritchard also right in front of me, having done his pit stop. I had accumulated 1.1 seconds worth of damage repairs, but I did not take them for obvious reasons. Need to push slightly because depending on how long the others take before they do their pit stop, they might jumped me due to me taking time to warm the tires up. It seems like if... Give me a second to read that. I think I need to move the brake bias a bit backwards again. Right. This seems like a fun round. I mean, everything is close. I mean, the lap 1 contact weighs a bit of my mind. But yeah, so far it's been a very good round here. Some very tight battles here.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
So Jackson has not come in. Then the cat's book has come in and he emerged 5 seconds in front of me. That's not good. Because that means he gained about a second for the pit stop cycle there. Oh man, the cat's book has a drive-through! Oh, that sucks. For him, but it's really good for me. Because that means I'm now in contention for a podium. Once the pit stop cycle finishes and I keep Jörgsen behind me, that means that I'm in a podium position. But that's the big if I'm able to keep Jörgsen behind. Because with the tires not up to temperature, this is not an easy ask. Also, I have to deal with the lap traffic in front. Is Jörgsen in right now? Yeah, I think so.
The car is exiting the pits, watch out.
Yeah, Jörgsen is coming out of the pits right now. As far as I can judge behind me. Yep. So it's Dixon, Pritchard, both have done their pit stops. There's 4 people in front that haven't. Because we know Dixon should be the race leader. Yeah, Jörgsen emerged 5 seconds behind me. He took some damage repairs.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
We're now effectively P3 in this race. And I'm definitely... I mean, a penalty actually for next week will be not particularly great, because next week I'm actually challenging for the race win. Because it's Suzuka, and Suzuka is one of the strongest tracks for this car. 10-second penalty won't be particularly great for me there. Especially with things being so tight, it's like... I mean, if anything, I will probably be having to battle Dixon for the lead. So 10 seconds with penalty is not gonna help me. It will probably be like 5 minutes where I will just watch the stream muted cause there's 25 minutes left and my class starts in 20 minutes. I see. Oh, I see. Do what you must. It's not looking like we're gonna have a showdown here towards the end. I'm not making any inroads on Pritchard, and I don't think Jörgsen behind is gonna make particularly much of inroads on me either. You never know. In your calculus classroom before it starts. No, I've not done that. Highlight of the week. Well, it makes you able to get through the calculus class, I guess. That helps. Check when the... I mean, I'm gonna race probably in the near future a bit more because I have some series lined up. Wanna drive in the IVGTC series, but next season starts in I think a month, so that's still some ways off. 2-man is starting this week, and then one of the series that I'm looking forward to is a Maserati Cup on Mondays with the LCI guys. So the only thing keeping me going, oh god. I mean, if you don't enjoy any of the AT classes and you only enjoy calculus, something isn't right. And something is definitely not right. Nothing against liking the calculus, but like it's... That doesn't sound great. But yeah, I have to check if that's gonna start next week. I don't think it will start next week. I think that might also just start next month. The Maserati Cup, because I have to do actually pre-qualifying for that. Although I don't think I need to prove particularly much speed. Although it is LCI, it means that there's absolutely stupid aliens, but I mean, we've been dealing with alien invasion here enough, so it's... I think we're fine on that front. Alien invasion. And these aliens have to also now deal with Maserati, so they're gonna have their fun. Check when that thing starts, and when I have to have my pre-quali time in. I haven't checked how many people have in the end now signed up for it up until this point, but we can after the race. Although I am muted, so it doesn't help you much. I'm not muted, but yeah, like you will mute me, so It's not like you will be actually able to hear me faff over the numbers. Should be able to pull it up. I'm actually losing ground to Jörgsen right now. It's closing in slightly. Oh, that matters too much. Well, there's still 18 minutes to go, so it's still a bit to go. This race has been honestly feeling significantly longer than usual. Yeah, I know. You haven't muted me yet, but after the race I will be muted, so I know that it's not gonna help me much if I go over numbers and you can't hear me. If I have over numbers, so be like that. Okay, thank you.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Because I nearly cleared that back mark off. Yeah, all of a sudden everybody's going significantly faster. Jörgsen has picked up the pace all of a sudden. Pritchard. He doesn't have extra pace all of a sudden on the tab. This is mildly getting interesting. I'm not letting myself get robbed out of a podium position again. It's a missed apex there. Spinella. Not yet. Would be the last thing I need. Hello there. My hope is that Jörgsen behind will be held up a bit with the traffic.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Thank you, Lane. That was actually really useful. Because Jörgsen is closing in on me. He did drop quite a bit of time out of the pit stop, but since then he's been progressively closing in on me. Yeah, the traffic is not helping him. He just dropped nearly 2 seconds there. Actually 1 second. Hit traffic and dropped a second.
Listen to the car ahead, he's up to 1.
Then stop it. Sits in the first row like a nerd. Bottom row window place, let's go.
There's a slow car ahead. Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front.
KTM is doing KTM things there, I see. Yeah. Situation is definitely, I would say, relaxed a bit for now. Well, I shouldn't take it too easy. There's still 13 minutes on the clock. The short lap times on the circuit are really taking a toll on me. It feels like an eternity. Oh, Yerksen behind has lost the position to Bogdanovic. Now that's vaguely interesting. Well, my car seems to be finally. Probably get distracted. I don't need to sit anywhere else, I can distract myself already.
Gaining on car ahead in sector 1.
Yeah, but that doesn't help much, crew chief. Guy is over 10, nearly 11 seconds ahead. It's not gonna make much of a difference. Dixon is only 16 seconds ahead. I mean, he doesn't have to push at all. He just has to finish. Guy is like got him on, man. And he said the Alpine wouldn't work particularly well on the circuit. Yet he's leading by miles. Gonna go home, have chicken nuggets, and probably early night tonight. Well, that sounds reasonable. I should also finally go to bed earlier, but my programming project has been keeping me up awake at night. Well, I'm right now throwing time away with both my hands. Thought for a second there was somebody behind me, but it was just the number of the ratings numbers that are of the HUDs that are overlapping over my rearview mirror. Oh, that's a bit deep. We're under 10 minutes to go finally. I mean, honestly, how many laps is that till the end? Oh, don't come in with the curse of the commentator. I don't like that. Like, I mean, I've felt like that since after the Katzberg got a penalty, but like after Jürgensen came out of the pits, quite a bit behind me. But since then, it's like, yeah, I mean, we do have a bit of a chance, but it's not gonna be easy because they're not slow behind. And I'm occasionally very slow, so it doesn't help. And yeah, I'm down to under 4 seconds now. So I wouldn't quite say over, but like I just need to keep it straight on the road and it should be fine. Six minutes 40. It's 5 laps or so, I think. At least the tires are significantly better at the end of this stint than the last one. But I do know how to manage my brake bias now. To not run too much rearwards towards the end of the stint.
Yellow flag in sector 2. Yellow flag charging front.
Where's the car?
Slow car ahead.
On it. Well, that's definitely an unsafe rejoin, to say the half. And that shit could have ended my race. Not just my run for the podium, but like it minimum dropped me, I think, out of the, not out of the top 10, but like, okay, oh, top 10, but like top, oh, come on. I think Lichten would have caught me in P6. That's what I wanted to say. I don't want to say anything, but I'm surprised there's so many people with drive-through penalties from track cuts, but I haven't gotten a single cut the entire race. There's a bit more traffic in front and they are seemingly fighting for position. Oh wait a second, that is Jelinek, the guy who had... I don't think that's could be him. I'm definitely had contact with a Porsche, not a Mercedes driver. So... thing is 2 laps to go at this point. And these guys in front are lapping about 2 seconds per lap slower. Oh, that was a bit much sideways. Come on. Ooh, I'm under 2.8 seconds now. Another chick is pushing. Oh, not good. Under 2 seconds nearly.
Right, man, neither is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
You're gonna need it. Alright, 2 seconds behind. Well, that was roughly the gap at Bathurst. And I nearly got him in the end. And we do have traffic hazard. Is not keeping up with the other guy. Hope these guys don't do anything stupid in front of me. Or me doing anything stupid. Come on, Bex, please. Poe has a penalty, drive-through penalty. Yeah, back then, P6. Today was the day of drive-through penalties. I mean, the track is kind of known for giving people track cuts. Well, I escaped very well from them, although it got way tighter than I would have liked, I guess. That's him behind. Yeah, P3 in the end. Yeah, that wasn't... Let's pull over. Set up. So how are the tires doing? Set 4 was used in the first stint, light graining on the rear tires. Not that worn down, honestly. Set 2 was used in the second stint, light graining on the rear tires, light flat spots in the front right. It's a bit less worn on the right side tires, I would say. Right rear is quite worn down. Otherwise they're very equal, which is not too surprising considering they were used about the same amount of time. Right. I know, I'm just going over things still. Poe got demoted to P14 with this 30-second time penalty at the finish. That sucks because he finished significantly higher up technically. Jelinek finished P7. I think that was the guy who I had contact with. I'm gonna check on that. The Jelinek, not Jelinek. Jelinek is which one is Jelinek? This one is Jelinek, and this one is the neck made of jelly. So I mean, we couldn't watch my start again. We'll use the power of the Maserati. The MUQU doesn't go anywhere because he followed Jörgsen too closely. Didn't give enough room to accelerate. Oh, yeah, there's slight door bang from me. The Lichten goes sideways there. I set up on the outside here. Lichten is a bit too cautious to be able to keep alongside. I lack a bit of power out of the corner, but other than fine. And Jelinek gets a bounce, tries to squeeze me to the edge of the road. That gives me just enough room here. Ah, there's the contact. Yeah, I think that's not gonna go favorable for me. I think that is not favorable to me. He gives me room on the apex, but not much. I mean, I don't really have a right anymore to the corner at this point. I'm a bit too backed out of it, considering which direction the track goes next. Yeah, case of the rules are definitely not in my favor, but morally he didn't particularly... He didn't help himself, let's be real, but like, he didn't do anything wrong. I mean, where's the point of not having contact? I would like a millisecond further down the road. I know I shouldn't do slow motion, but I just want to... Yeah, I mean, he's opening up and everything. Oh god, the slow motion now. Because the animations are now in slow motion. Okay, right. I may have a good idea, I'm just gonna check on the other one. I am not happy with me constantly colliding with people. That's not what's supposed to happen. I mean, it's just the margins between a reasonable pass and going just that inch too far where your opponent puts a squeeze on you and you end up spinning them out. It's just... It's not great. Oh man, how crossed up that crossbow was. I'm going for a normal corner. Yeah, he didn't like the curb. Got sideways there. Eats more curb, gets more sideways. Yeah, and that's how he backed out, actually. How small he is! I didn't notice, like... I mean, I know that the crossbow is very low down, but like... Did he just flash me? I didn't do anything wrong, I didn't touch him. Just follow the situation up ahead from the crossbow perspective. I mean, the reasonable thing would have been to be honest. I mean, I was ahead quite a bit heading into this braking zone, so it was reasonable for me to try something. And he just snatched the position there. And from the crossbow, it looks like he's not giving me that much space. I'm off the brake, unfortunately, when the contact happens, so it's a difficult target at that point. Yeah, I'm very far ahead into the corner. And once we switch back, it's just he has the advantage suddenly. Because I gave him a lot of room. If we actually compare something, like the amount of room I gave him on the entry here. Here. Easy within bounds. Here it's like... I think you have to stay at least on the curb stuff. So I'm just within... Thank you for eating my mouse cursor. You're welcome. You have to stay on the curb a bit here, so you're at least in bounds. If you see the first part here, like he's running the curb as much as he can, right? And I would have given him enough room that he could have stayed in the wide line even, with at least two wheels. While here it's like he's giving me just enough room that I can stay on the curbing. And heck, I'm about to cut a bit of gravel because he's squeezing me that hard. I guess it's just not... Yeah, the clear expectation was for him to open up the corner a bit more to on the exit. When he just didn't. I guess he just thought I would back out at that point. Yeah, he's trying to open up the next corner. It's just something you don't quite do when you're not still side by side. And he could have easily closed up out the corner, closed up the overtake if you just gave a bit more room and then completed it. But I still think it's gonna be on me. I think what he did wasn't particularly smart. But the rules are the rules and they don't care about feelings. Or circumstances or anything. That's gonna be on most likely. There's the Camaro coming by. We can't figure out what happened actually with Van der Katzberg in this lead. Guess he got pipped off the line there. By Dixon, not too surprising. Are you winning, son? I finished P3. Although I'm looking at the replay, I finished P3. But I did end up taking someone out. I've just looked at that in the middle of lap 1, so it's not good. I'll just see what happened with that guy. Confirm back, but like Then look at the incident again one more time. Look at this here, I brake. He takes a bit much curb, goes a bit sideways. Get a run. And go for the smallest gap in existence. Hug the inside. Ahead, I'm giving him room, and he takes a mile and squeezes me a bit on the exit, and I run a bit too wide, and it's just... He's around. I think he didn't help himself, but I think the rules are gonna be not in my favor. And yeah, that's interesting also, because somehow Jörgsen didn't actually complete the pass here. I stayed around the outside here. After being slowed down by pit maneuvering the guy, I ended up nearly dropping the position to Jörgsen there. Complete the pass here. What I wanted to figure out is what happened to him to throw him. So, what happened here? Polo winning. I mean, Dixon, the guy in the Alpine in front, won the race in the end, which is not too super. Oh yeah, too much curb bounce. That's gonna be death. So at some point I was in position to run the Catsburg again. Some point there's the... Oh yeah, here's the pass. This is vaguely interesting, so... The Alpine... not the Alpine, the KTM crossbar completely crossed up. Yeah, lost it on entry under the brakes. He's... When I was following him early, it's like he seemed to be very slow into this corner. Yeah, and he's now in the wrong gear. Should have down geared. And there's me and... Van Catsburg and the McLaren coming by. I'm alongside, go around the outside, but take a lot of curb there, and sideways, sideways, sideways the other direction. He's just... Sideways, but Maserati, whoomp whoomp. I mean, he could have actually gone there for an overtaking attempt. He had the momentum, he just was like, nope, I'm not taking risks here. And decides to just settle for passing the KTM crossbar, and he's actually succeeded in that. Well, that's I think not too much interesting happened in this race. Oh yeah, we had the unsafe rejoin in the latter stages of the race. It's gonna be a bit difficult to figure out when it was. Yeah, there it was. Here it is, the unsafe rejoin. This guy just thinks that is acceptable in any way, shape or form. How did he end up there? Outbrakes himself. Spins the car around, nearly gets hit by the Aston. The Aston just misses that he's still alongside. Like, yeah, that's on the Aston actually for sending the... Oh, and that is Jelinek collected. Oh, I think it's Jelinek, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's the 151. Yeah, that was the Jelinek there. I think he ended up finishing the race like that. This guy here runs into the walls twice and spins his... Like, do you have to be signed up for being blind or something to... You can clearly see me approaching there and just still goes through spinning his car around. Like, it's just... Like, here maybe he cannot see me coming, right? Because he doesn't have VR maybe, but like... Here he can see me. He can see me definitely now. And it's just no attempt whatsoever made to avoid doing an unsafe rejoin there. Also, you can use higher gears than first. Well, I'm actually done with the race. That's the unfortunate part for you guys. I'm actually just packing up stuff, looking at the replay. I've been every week recently live on Wednesdays. Been consistently hitting that slot. Okay. That was that guy dying. Actually, which lap is this again for him? It's number 64. Actually, let me just grab the report form and fill it in already. I think that guy deserves to be reported for that. It's just... that is such an egregious one. Even if there wasn't any contact, that is just such an egregious one that I think that's... you're gonna go to the slammer for that one. You can't just do that. That's... if I didn't have premonition about what he was gonna do, I would have absolutely hit him. That's number 64, which is 64. That is the W Bogdanovic. Let me actually get my gloves so I can type easier. W Borg. I need to figure out how to spell that name. Control F. Actually, I can figure out which one it is now. If I'm already in the website here. Figure out Wojciech. Wojciech. Is that the name, I think? Bogdanovic. Okay. Number 64. Lap of the incident. I need to figure out which lap I'm on. Already a bit further down the road. That would be lap 33 for me. Right. Okay then. It's funny because actually Bogdanovic was running me down there towards the end of the race. This one, Bogdanovic, with his 606 Porsche, and then nearly his... I don't know their family relations. I think they are actually related. Nearly takes me out. That is... I don't know, not great, but they did that nearly at Bathurst, so why not bench that further than that? Right. Oh, he's going very sideways there. And he was pushing there towards the end of the race. It's the final lap here. But in the end it wasn't even close. P3 I can be quite happy, although I'm probably gonna have 10 seconds worth of penalty for next round. And that's gonna be a bit of a damper on the Suzuka round while my car's actually vaguely competitive. Still, qualifying is very tight. I usually end up making up good positions mid-race. And yeah. Yeah, you know what, I don't. Actually, I need to check because I might do some more driving. When the RCI guys will have their for the Maserati Cup. Maserati Cup info. Round 1 is 10th of April, and we need. Oh yeah, the pre-qualifying hasn't even begun yet. Pre-qualifying is the hot stint from the 1st of April till the 10th of April. And will allow us to run there. And let me just briefly check how many people are signed up. Sign-ups. There's a few people signed up now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 30 people signed up, and I think we have only they have a pre-queue and they have a hot stint of 5 or more consecutive laps on one track with one car. Those laps have to be valid and can't be over 107% of your fastest lap. For the stint, you must drive 5 or more laps. Best valid 5 laps will be taken, average calculated. You're not allowed to change your car after pre-qualifying because there's only one car available. They don't seem to clarify how many. This is ACC on the hardwood, and yes, there will be at least one wet race. Yes. But the Maserati is fun, and these RCI guys are absolutely shitting themselves over it. Let's sign up 1, maximum license points 10, drop rounds 1. They don't seem to clarify how many people will be allowed in. I don't know, whatever. Doesn't matter in the end. So, right. So, obviously Saturday we will be for the first round of the. Actually, I want to check what cars are signed up for that event as well. I mean, I could actually display some stuff instead of just showing nothing on screen. Could actually show things on screen. Show the numbers, Mason. Because that could be meaningful. So I'll just come on out of there. And now we get back over here and swap to the. And it got the correct desktop. Yay! That's nice. Oh yeah, I mean I've moved my entire window over here. Whatever. Not the worst thing ever that happens. We've reported. We want to go over here, right? First round there's Suzuka on the 25th. Information. Come on. Teams. Let's see what cars are signed up for this event. Oh, that was the wrong. That was the right key combination, yeah. So how many Bentleys are signed up? 1. B. How many Porsche are signed up? 5 are signed up with the Porsche. How many AMRs are signed up? 5. I assume all of them with a V8. Yeah, all V8s. How many M4s are signed up? 8. M4s, M6s? No. 488s? 2. Only 2 488s. What is everybody driving? NSX? None. Geesh. What is everybody driving at that point? There's a handful of... I guess there's not that many people signed up, maybe? I mean, last season was very popular. Yeah, there's 27 teams signed up, I guess. This sort of starts adding up. What do I have here? Bentley, Aston BMW, Ferrari, M4, Porsche, M4, AMG, Lexus, M4, Lexus, M4, AMG, so there's a few AMGs, another Lexus, a McLaren 720S, a single one. Yeah, that's it. There's a single 720S in the field. What cars would I have available to me? Because I might want to swap out of the... Which car would be reasonable to swap to? Audi nobody's running, but I don't have the new Audi. I would have to use the old Audi. That's not great. I could run Rex, obviously, but that's not great. The Huracan is an option. The Nissan is just shooting itself in the foot. The shotgun, that's not helping either. The Jag is also like a meme machine. Works on a handful of tracks, but not enough. Sort of kind of stuck for this. Kind of don't want to drive the boat again. That's the thing. Not the big fan of the boat anymore. Maybe I swap the 720S. Because it does allow a bit closer of my driving style that is a bit more sideways. The M4 is anyway so bloody popular that I can't really pick that. I do actually go Jag, just for the memes. I mean, what do we have in terms of tracks actually on the calendar? There's 3 races on the calendar. It's Suzuka, Kyalami, Bathurst. Yeah. It's complicated. Decisions. Very complicated. Right. Okay, then I think I'm gonna... Right. This was nice running. It would be interesting to look back at the stream board and see what my pulse was throughout the race. I have absolutely no idea, and as I have noticed, when I'm not looking at my pulse sometimes goes down to like 50 or something, which is at least a bit more healthy. But like, when I'm sitting in front of my desk and I'm starting to idle at like 70 to 90, it's like, yeah, that's not good. That's not good. I need to do something for my health. I guess. Right. Okay then, I think it's a good time to call it a night. I'm gonna get back to a bit more programming. See whoever's still watching next time. Bye bye.